Adgure Name, Jivadgure Name, Satgure Name, Siri Gurudeva Name, Adgure Name, Jivadgure Name, Satgure Name, Siri Gurudeva Name, Adgure Name, Jivadgure Name, Satgure Name, Siri Gurudeva Name. Satnam. My name is Guru Fateh Singh. I live in Toronto, and I've been asked to speak today about Kundalini Yoga and how Kundalini Yoga is not a religion. So, full disclosure, I practice Kundalini Yoga, and I'm a Sikh. I came to Kundalini Yoga when I was almost 18, came to my first class. I've been practicing a bit of yoga before that, self-taught. And I learned a bit of meditation from a Swami before I came to Kundalini Yoga. And as I came to know of the tradition of my teachers, I fell in love with the Sikh tradition. And some years later, I was given the title of Singh Sahib as a Sikh minister. So I'm a Sikh minister. I have a position at the University of Toronto as a chaplain there. So I'm a yogi, I'm a Sikh, but I'm going to tell you why Kundalini Yoga is not a religion. All right? So Sikh religion is maybe 500 years old, Christianity maybe 200, Judaism maybe, let's say 200, 2,000. Judaism maybe 4,000 or 5,000 years old. Yoga goes back, I think, further than that. There's no real yoga history per se, but there's a very deep and profound vision and a methodology above. Kundalini Yoga, the symbol basically is a spiral. The idea that you can unfold. You have a potential and it can unfold. You have another symbol, which is the caduceus, symbol that the medical associations like to use, which is a staff with one or two snakes spiraling up and wings on the top. That's your chakras, your spine, and rising up, your energy going up. It's a symbol of Hermes, the god Hermes, the Greek god of healing, a symbol of communication, and above all, communication with yourself, self-realization. So that is the Kundalini Yoga symbolism. Now then, there are religions. What are religions? Religions are traditions, communities, power structures. Typically have real estate, they have dogma, they have priests very often, and they often, sometimes they'll promise you heaven, sometimes they'll say, suffer now, enjoy later. Some religions they'll say the whole world is an illusion or a delusion, meditate and it'll all go away. Kundalini Yoga is not like that. Kundalini Yoga is a methodology to be real, to be here, now, and happy, and to inspire others. That's Kundalini Yoga. It is a discipline, And so if you don't like discipline, if you don't like to be told what to do, if you don't like to have restrictions, it's very hard. And it's a difference. Religion also has, restrictions and limitations and la-di-la-di-la. Kundalini Yoga, the discipline, it's a self-discipline. You're not doing it for anybody else. You're doing it for yourself. You're not trying to please anybody. At least if you're a smart yogi. Why do you want to please somebody else? What's the point? So, Kundalini Yoga, if you study Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, there are 3 pillars. One is tapasya. So if you want to be a yogi, you have to practice tapasya. Tapasya, some people call it sadhana. And there's not only morning sadhana, but any discipline, any self-directed discipline, any discipline for your self-growth is a sadhana. So that can include modulating your food, modulating your speech, modulating your sleep. It can mean modulating your service, serving more, serving people that are thankless, serving people that are abusive. That is also sadhana. That is also tapasya. That, if you take it in a good way, if you take it as grist for the mill, it'll contribute to your self-growth. And any of these, if you present them they're not going to help you at all. You know. But if you embrace self-growth, if you embrace discipline as a path towards self-growth, then it works. Personally, before I came to Kundalini Yoga, uh, I really liked Socrates, the Greek philosopher, and I knew that he walked barefoot. So I tried that. I tried that for a year. That was my getting out of my comfort zone. So, I walked into Kundalini Yoga with my eyes wide open. I don't mind discipline. I like discipline when it's for a good cause. And you should develop a taste for it. It's like broccoli. Some people don't like broccoli, but if you know it's good for you, try and develop a taste for it. It works. So, eat your broccoli, or don't. It's up to you. Nobody. This is not Kundalini yoga. We don't need followers. We don't. But if you want to practice, if you want to master Kundalini yoga, you really got to have a relationship with your discipline, because it's a good friend. It's a good friend. Second pillar of yoga is svadhyaya, which means self-study. And so it's fascinating to study your moods, to study your state of mind, to study your mental focus on a daily basis, on a monthly basis, and see how it changes. Especially study yourself when you are doing something difficult, something challenging, your sadhana. Even you said you're going to do sadhana, and still by day 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe after day 40, suddenly your mind starts to go a little interesting. It says, oh, what have I got into? Well, what have you got into? Sort yourself out. I mean, it's not easy. Not everybody can set targets and meet those targets, even for their own self-growth. But Svadhyaya means figure it out. Make a friend of your mind. Make a friend of your discipline. Both of them. Okay. Third pillar of yoga is Ishvara Pranana. So these are Sanskrit words, but we can say in simple English, give yourself to something bigger than yourself. And that can mean others. It can mean the cause of the environment. It can mean, if you're religious, you can say, give yourself to God. Mother Teresa used to say, give until it hurts. Give yourself to a good cause. And use your capacity for self-modulation to that end. If you cannot modulate your emotions, if you're not good with focusing your energy, if you're not good with discipline, you're not going to be a very good social worker, or a very good humanitarian, or a very good doctor without borders, or revolutionary, whatever the case might be. You're going to be having issues with people and agendas and blah, blah, blah. So these three things are very important. Ishvara Pranadana also means, figure out where your particular gift can be useful. It's very important. As you do your yoga, as you do your meditation, figure out what your particular gift is, and where in the world that gift is going to be most profitable, where I can do the most good. That's also part of it. All right. So I'm a Sikh, and the first Sikh was Guru Nanak, and he didn't follow a religion. His parents were Hindu, and the Hindus thought he was weird because he didn't do all the Hindu stuff. He even made fun of some of the Hindu rituals. Oh my gosh, and he wasn't a Muslim. That was the other main religion in his environment at that time. It was the ruling religion. He went to Mecca, and he had some fun with them too. They would bow toward the Kaaba, and he would stick his feet in the direction of the Kaaba, and they had interesting conversation. He was not a Buddhist. He was not a Jain. His basic thing was authenticity, being real. And his mantra was Satnam. So basically, Satnam means be who you are. Sat originally meant is, and Nam means identity. So is, be who you are. And you may say, my name is Sally Smith. But ultimately we say, you are an embodiment of the infinite. That's who you really are. All right? And so live to that. And you don't have to teach a 3-year-old that. And a 3-year-old doesn't get religion. The 3-year-old doesn't get yoga. What is it? But a 3-year-old is very authentic. 3-year-old knows what they want. And in Kundalini Yoga, we also, we engage, we want to be authentic. We say our path is from Satnam, from embracing authentic being, not being fake. Authentic being means unconditioned being, unconditional being, intrinsic being. It means just being happy the way you are, being happy with yourself. And that can be difficult in this culture because there's a whole lot of insecurity, there's a whole lot of resentment. We have a consumer culture, and we are raised, we are conditioned to want stuff, to feel that we need stuff, which we don't need. So to be a Kundalini yogi and to embrace, truly embrace, and to live in your intrinsic being, your Satnam, you've got a lot of deprogramming to do, a lot of meditation. Stuff you don't need, and the stuff you do. It's nice to have money, but not too much. It's nice to have relationships, healthy relationships. It's nice to have the things you need to be fruitful and to blossom and to be happy and to help other people to be happy. But I'm talking genuine happiness, not just oh, I had a chocolate cake. Chocolate cake comes and goes and then makes you constipated. Who wants to eat a whole chocolate cake? Better to have chocolate cake and share it with somebody. That's Kundalini yoga. So Guru Nanak was very big on Satnam, and we say our journey in Kundalini yoga, and as in Guru Nanak. Guru Nanak was a great yogi. He didn't follow religion, but our journey is from Satnam to Vaheguru. Vaheguru is the ecstatic consciousness, the infinite consciousness, the unconditioned ecstatic consciousness. You're not ecstatic because you're high on something. You're high on service. You're high on being. You're high on fundamentals, right? Nobody can take that from you. Nobody. So let's talk religion. If you're a Muslim, probably people are going to tell you shouldn't do yoga. All right? In Malaysia, and I know in Malaysia you can't chant yogic mantras. You can do like visit. In Iran, the same. Heaven help you if you want to practice yoga in Saudi Arabia. It's sketchy in places like Pakistan. There are people who are Muslims who practice yoga, but there are strong arguments that religious Muslims will make that you shouldn't do it. Christianity, same thing. The Pentecostals, there are a lot of folks in that religious sphere who will say, oh no, yoga, bad thing. It's the work of the devil, blah, blah, blah. So definitely, there are people going to tell you that yoga and religion don't go together. A funny thing, I find funny, interesting with Kundalini yoga and Christianity is, in Christianity they say Jesus was the embodiment of God. He was the incarnation of God. In yoga we say everything is an embodiment of the infinite. The trees are, right? And this body, my body, is a temple of the infinite, right? And so there's no like special person who was a child of God and you're not a child of God, and they're an embodiment of God and you're not an embodiment of God. So there are differences, right? Judaism is a very old religion, And as yogis we're taught not to say anything bad about religion. I don't see any point in saying anything bad about religion. My sense is that Ibrahim, Abraham, the first Jew, was some kind of a yogi, or he was on drugs. He had some connection with the infinite. He was a very amazing person, and there are a lot of prophets and great souls in that tradition, as in every tradition, But in Judaism, you can't say the name of God, whereas as Kundalini Yoga is taught by Yogi Bhajan, we have so many mantras and all names of God. Even we get names, like my name is the name of God, Guru Fateh Singh. It's a uplifting name. It's an inspired name. So that's what it is. And I love Kundalini Yoga. Kundalini Yoga is it's a path of self-awareness. But I'll tell you something funny. If you go to India and you go to a Sikh temple and you're chanting Mul Mantra, or you're chanting anything like that, and you look like a Sikh, but if you tell people you practice yoga, they'll freak out because they say Sikhs don't practice yoga. Yeah. So that's where Sikh tradition has come to. Many traditions don't like yoga, but my view and the view of Yogi Bhajan, I think Krishna's view as well, Krishna quote, is that the spirit of Kundalini Yoga is the essence at the heart of all spiritual traditions, some of which have grown into religions. Think about it. No, don't be religious because somebody's telling you to join something you don't believe in or it makes no sense to you. Um, Religion is mostly there for following, but Kundalini Yoga is to help you to be a leader, to be an extraordinary individual, to be healthy, happy, and holy. It's a difference. Okay? So I hope this is helpful. I wish you every success in your journey and Satnam.